Let me tell you something about perfection. It doesn't always sparkle. Sometimes it trembles. From the outside, perfection looks peaceful. A clean smile, an organized desk, a voice that never raises, a life that always seems together. But look closer and you'll see something else. A quiet fear that hums beneath every achievement. A pressure that never seems to lift. A child who learned too early that love must be earned. You see, the perfect child is not born perfect. They are shaped by the rooms they grow up in. Sometimes it's the house where mistakes weren't allowed. Sometimes it's the family where chaos ruled, and being perfect was the only way to stay safe. Sometimes it's the subtle silence of parents who only smiled when the report card came home clean. So the perfect child adapted. They learned that peace depends on their performance, that love feels most certain when they please everyone, that their emotions are dangerous because anger causes conflict, sadness causes concern, and both make people uncomfortable. So they became calm, reliable, predictable, perfect. Psychologists have a name for this, the adaptive self. It's who you become when your real self feels too risky to show. Every "I'm fine" becomes armor. Every success becomes proof you're safe. And slowly, without even noticing, you stop existing for yourself. You exist for approval. And that's where the pain begins. Not the loud, visible kind, but the silent ache of someone who's constantly performing a version of themselves. You can see it in small moments. The way they apologize too quickly. The way they can't rest unless everything is done. The way they feel guilty for relaxing. The way they hide their exhaustion behind a smile. It's not pride, it's fear, because perfection is not a pursuit of excellence. It's a defense against rejection. For many perfect children, the message was never spoken out loud. It lived in the pauses, in the looks, in the sighs. Be good. Be easy. Don't make trouble. So they learn to shrink their needs, to anticipate others before being asked, to be the emotional glue of every room they enter. But here's the paradox. When you're always the one holding everything together, no one ever thinks to ask if you're okay. And over time, you forget to ask yourself too. As adults, perfect children become overachievers, caretakers, peacemakers. They excel in everything, careers, friendships, relationships, yet often feel like imposters in their own success. Because deep down, the voice of that old child still whispers, if I stop being perfect, will they still stay? So they overextend. They apologize for existing too loudly. They hide their exhaustion behind competence. And when someone praises them, they feel relief, not joy. Because praise means safety, for now. Here's what's rarely talked about. Perfection has a cost. It disconnects you from authenticity. Because to stay perfect, you must constantly edit yourself. You start filtering not just your behavior, but your emotions, your desires, even your dreams. You don't ask, what do I want? You ask, what's expected of me? And in that subtle shift, a life starts to feel hollow, beautiful on the outside, but quietly empty within. Some psychologists call it functional emptiness. You keep doing everything right, but it never feels enough. Every success fades quickly, and every mistake feels catastrophic, because perfection is a moving target. And every time you reach it, it moves again. But here's the truth, the perfect child never hears. Love doesn't disappear when you falter. The right people don't vanish when you show your cracks. Real love, the kind that heals, exists beyond performance. The perfect child has to relearn that slowly, through small acts of imperfection, through soft rebellion, leaving a message unread, taking a day off without guilt, letting the dishes sit in the sink, crying without saying sorry for it, saying no, and not offering a paragraph of reason. These are not failures, they're repairs. Healing for the perfect child means learning how to rest without justifying it, means realizing that being loved and being impressive are not the same thing. It means recognizing that your worth is not a prize to be earned. It's a truth to be remembered. And the process is slow, because when you've been praised for control your entire life, letting go feels like danger. But with time, you start to see that your humanity was never the problem. Your silence was. There's a concept in therapy called reparenting. It means learning to give yourself the care you once had to earn. It's whispering to that inner child, it's okay. You can make mistakes now. You're still safe. You're still loved. And slowly, that rigid armor starts to crack, not in a way that breaks you, but in a way that lets light in. You begin to notice simple joys again, laughing without planning, resting without guilt, doing things not because they're productive, but because they're you. You start realizing that people who truly love you don't admire you for being perfect. They love you for the moments you let your guard down, when you stumble, when you laugh too hard, when you finally say, I can't do this alone. That's when connection becomes real, not in the performance of perfection, but in the surrender to honesty. The hidden pain of the perfect child is the belief that love must be maintained through control. But the hidden strength of that same child is the capacity to love others deeply, because they know how fragile peace can feel. And when they finally learn to offer that same compassion inward, they stop being the perfect child. They become the free one. So if you're listening to this and something inside you feels seen, take a breath. You don't have to keep proving your worth. You don't have to hold everything together. You can be loved even when you tremble. You can rest, you can break, you can begin again. Because the truth is, you were never meant to be perfect. You were meant to be whole. And wholeness, real, untidy, beautiful wholeness, has always been waiting underneath the mask.